back to my channel, Bale and Wire's Old Iron. So I haven't had a video out, especially on anything related to either Jimmy or James, but I've been awful busy lately. I've been traveling a lot for work and just had a lot going on here at home, and which right now I need to be doing some stuff outside, but the weather's terrible. We've got terrible winds today. They're about 50 miles per hour and the wind's just sweeping through there. And what I need to do, that's not going to work out very good. So I'm going to get started back here on Jimmy. I've got some stuff ready for Jimmy, and I've got a little bit of a surprise. In one of my previous videos, I gave you guys a little bit of a glimpse of some stuff I was doing on Jimmy. Let me get stuff cleaned up around here a little bit, and we'll get back on Jimmy, and I'll bring you in here and show you what's going on. Okay, folks, so here we are. I've got things kind of cleaned up enough where I can work for a while, but as you see, I've got you in the interior of Jimmy here. And once again, I'm going to pull this seat out and redo this seat. I'm going to do some work on the floor. There's a patch there, and then right there, that center hump where it's welded to the cab there up and around, it's beat up pretty good. I've got another one, I'm going to replace it. And then over there on the driver's side, I've got a patch panel to replace that spot there where the hole's at. And boy, folks, I'll tell you, and Cousin Waylon, I don't know how in the world you handled that seat. The little bit I've been driving Jimmy around, I've caught my britches I don't know how many times, and I had a blanket over it, and I had grandma's pillow there, and I had all kinds of stuff. But I'm going to pull the seat out, and as you see, I've got the door panels off on both sides. I don't know if this may be too much for one video, but I've got something special for those door panels, the seat, sun visors, which are gone, and this door over here. One day I was working on the truck in here, and I thought, well, I'm going to roll this window down. So I grabbed a hold of the crank. It wouldn't budge. I was like, what's going on here? Must be something wrong with the regulator. Well, and I looked, and if you look, right there is a dab of silicone. Right there's another dab of silicone. Right there's another dab of silicone. So I've got a new regulator that I got from Classic Parts, and I think while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and put that trim in there for these doors, because that track is pretty much gone. All the felt out of it's gone. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this all in one video. I may do the floor and then make the seat and door panels and the glass, everything in another video. But I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to try. But that's where we're going. I'm going to get the seat out of Jimmy here. Okay, folks, so here we go. I've got the seat out of Jimmy. I'll bring you in here a little closer, kind of see what's going on. And I've shown you that hole right there. I'm going to make a piece for that. And then here, this hump, if you look right here, something has happened to this. It's been beat on or hammered. It's loose right here. And this really, to fix it right, it needs to be taken out and kind of straightened out. But I've bought a new piece for that. Classic Parts has a remake for that, a repop. But as you can see, you've got bolts here. And then if you see this hole right here, that's actually where a spot weld was at. So up around here, I've cleaned it up. And if you can see them spots that are kind of darkened a little bit with the rust, each one of them is a spot weld. So I'm going to get you guys on a tripod in here, and I'm going to work on drilling these spot welds out. So let me explain here. I was having issues with that spot weld cutter. Those spot weld cutters are basically like a rotor broach, and they have a center pin in them, and that center pin is spring loaded. And the center pin basically is supposed to line you up on a spot weld. Well, I was having an issue with that center pin. It was not springing for me so I could get the full pressure of my rotor broach. There it is. That was a little bit of a chore. Even center punching them, I had a heck of a time getting this spot weld cutter. But that pin's kind of hanging up on me. I think it's my spot weld cutter. But there it is. We got her out. Now I'm going to clean it up. You know, this Milwaukee grinder here is kind of giving me a hard time. I don't know what's going on. It just seems like it goes for a little bit, it won't stop. It goes for a little bit, won't stop. I don't know. I've had it probably a year or so, but I ain't used it much. I may have to take this to the store and see what's going on. I think I'm gonna go get another sander so I can get right in there. I'll be right back. All right, let's try this, Dad, see if we can get in there. All right. All right, folks, well, I brought you in here a little closer so you can get a look there. This corner right here has been bent down. I think I'm going to get something on that and pull that back up straight and match up with this so we've got a better transition. I did, in a couple of spots, drill all the way through, which is no big deal. I think that I will probably fill them up. I'll make me some little plugs and fill that up. But I'm gonna get some weld through primer out and make me some plugs and weld that up. I'll probably see if I can get my tool for that, my nibbling tool, and see if maybe I can make some plugs but that's what we got. Let's get the patch panel in there. Here real quick, I'm going to use this tool right here to make my little tiny plugs I got to make. This is actually a flange and punch tool. If you look up on the top, that'll create a flange. You look down here, that'll punch a hole. Now it needs to be pretty light material to be able to make a flange, but here's my old piece that I took out of there for the hump, and I've already made, let's see where they at. Let's see if you can see them, see if I can get it on right there. There's two little plugs I'm going to use to plug them holes. I need two more. Well, I think it spit them out. Let me get up on the table a little further here. There we go. There's one, there's two, three, four. There's my other one, so I got plenty there. Those boogers are kind of hard to see on this table, but there they are. I'll clean them up just a little bit and put a magnet on them, and I will tack them to the floorboard. Okay, so here we are, way later, weeks later. Life just got away with me, and I haven't got back on this. But man, I have got to get my stuff together to get this thing going for the C10 Nationals. So I've got, as I showed you before, I've got my plugs made. And I've got my plug right in the hole. Now, those pair of, basically vice grips right there, those are what those are made for. They're copper on the back side, so the weld won't stick to it. So I've got that stuck on there, and I'll get you guys set up here and we'll get to it. Alright, so I got my wire out of the way. All right. All right, let's let that dry. Well, there we are. There it is. It'll go in the pickup just like this. That's just how it'll go. The hump that goes over the transmission, bolt right on that flange right there. Now the one that was in the truck right here, I'm not sure why, but somebody had beat it really bad right here, and this corner here was bent up, and that was bent down, and this flange was kind of coming out, and this was bent some. I just felt it was better that I went ahead and replaced it. This isn't a bad job to do, so I thought I'd go ahead and do it. Let's. I'm gonna get you guys on a tripod and let's get some holes punched in this. Okay, all right. Here's our panel, and right along this flange is where we're going to punch some holes in it to be able to attach it to our cab. I wanted to talk about something, and I'm sure a lot of you all know this, but when you're doing this kind of work, fabrication, metal work, any of that kind of stuff, you know, a simple tool as a Sharpie is a good thing to have, and I like to have them in different colors and sizes. I know you got black, red, blue, and silver. Silver is what I like to use on this because it'll show up really nice. And this great big fat blue one, I keep it over by my lathe because it's almost just the same as Dykem. I mean, it shows up really nice, and you can scribe lines on it really nicely. But I just wanted to mention that real quick. We'll get this silver one out here and we'll get some holes marked. Okay, there's our holes all the way around. Now we've got some welding to do. You know, I hear on television a lot of the body guys that they call that a rosette weld, which, yeah, that's exactly what it is. But me, you know, I was an old structural guy, and even when I was in welding school, anything that was really kind of done like that was a plug weld. Now, if anybody knows any of the real terms of all that and wants to put down in the comments, let me know. You know, what is it? I've always said, oh, you know, I watch some guys on television and it says, so, rosette weld. I said, oh, plug weld. But any of you guys got any comments about that, please let me know. Alright, so I kind of used our center hump here to help locate that. As you see, I got it bolted down, and I've got that located pretty good. I'm going to get the welder set up and start tacking it around there, or welding them plug welds or rosette welds, whichever way you want to call it. But I'm going to start welding it up. Alright, let's get the welding this in place. Well, now that all the smoke's out of there, there it is. One upper portion of a high hump, center hump on one Jimmy Hoffa. Now, like I said before, when we get back from the C10 Nationals, I will go ahead and put the patches in the rest of this floor and put seam sealer around. For right now, I'm just going to cut some metal and screw it down to that for now. And over there also. Ooh, coyotes are going crazy. I don't know if you guys can hear them out there or not. But that's where we're at. And we'll screw some patches on there and keep going. Okay, folks, so here we are. This is not at all what I wanted to do here, but I am running out of time. The C10 Nationals is coming up quick, and Jimmy Hoffa and James Elmo have got to be there. And I've still got work to do on both those rigs to get them to where they can go. I've got something coming up with this rig I'll have to show you guys in my next video. We've got something major that needs to be done to old Jimmy here. But there they are. Let's get them screwed in, get done with that, and then we can get on the rest of it. Okay, there we are. There's our license plate patch job. That's going to have to do for now. Like I said, Jimmy Hoffa has got to get done. He has got an assignment in Dallas. Alright, so let's get to some important stuff here. Here's these door cards that I had made at St. Joe Auto Fabric. He did a wonderful job for me. I'm going to get these put in, these door panels. So what I've got, if you see these little plastic doodads here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill some holes in this panel, all probably in through there, kind of follow the contour and around, and use these machine screws to attach it to the panel. This machine screw will fit right through there, and then you take this and close it up just like that. That's what it'll look like, and that'll go along through there. I'm hoping this turns out pretty good. Let's get this panel right here in front of me. Let's get it kind of lined up, and we'll get some holes drilled in. Okay, so I think I got this figured out. If you see, I got a couple of test lines there, and what I did was I've got a real sharp pair of calipers here, and I'm just running them right along that, and that's giving me a nice straight line. That's working good. I think that's what I'm going to do, and I think that line closest to this ridge here is what I'm going to use. I'm going to use this line here. And then I think I'll probably do the math on it and see how I can kind of divide them up all through there. Okay, let's get this marked out. Okay, so I did the math and marked this out. And what it came up to was a spacing of 3.875. And that's what I did all down through there. With my starting point there, my ending point there. Now the contour was a little different here, but it worked out because they're just about right in line. They are awfully close. Now the only one that I just, right here on the end, I just divided that right in half so I could put one right in the center. So let's get some holes drilled. got some clamps holding that right now. I'm going to take it and turn it upside down. That panel, the back side of these panels, it's kind of a it's kind of a plastic board. So what I'll do is I'll take my drill on this back side and I'll drill real easy and just get through this board. Then I think I'll take an awl and just go ahead and poke my hole through the fabric for the screw. So let's try it. Alright, let's try this pick right here and see how good that'll punch a hole in this fabric for us. Oh yeah, that's gonna work good. Well, I've got 4 of them on there. I put the caps on them. That's going to give you an idea of what that's going to look like. Let's get the rest of them on there and then we'll take a look at this panel. And I've still got a hole to put there and a hole to put, actually 3 to put on this end. So I'll bring you guys back here in just a minute. I'll probably put you on time lapse and I'll get the rest of these caps on. Well, there we are. What do you guys think? Does it look pretty good? I'm happy with it. I think it looks really good. After looking at it, I think something different maybe I could have done was everywhere this crosses right here, that could have been where I could have put one of those. But I don't know how that, I don't think it would have been very even. So, does anybody know why this pattern? If anybody does, put in the comments. Why are we using this pattern for Jimmy Hoffa? If you know, put in the comments. Let's talk about it. Because this is a big part of Jimmy. Okay, let's go on to the next thing. Alright folks, so here's the seat out of Jimmy. Let's get it apart, see what we got. I'm going to bring you in here for just a minute and look. As you can see, Mr. Mouse left his evidence everywhere. But you get down here, and some poor little fella there, he stayed there. He's pretty much petrified now. Well, I've got it most of the way cleaned up. I got to go around the edges and take some hog rings off. Go ahead and take all the rest of that fabric off. But you know, looking this over, I don't see any broken springs anywhere. Now we do have, let me turn this over. The cable that goes from each side of that slide mechanism is missing. I will have to put that on there. I think I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of that stuff cleaned up. I'm going to see if I've got stuff to make up a cable. Then I'll make up a cable, and I think I'm going to paint it. It could use some paint. But I won't bore you with all the little bits of getting that all cleaned up. Alright, so our paint is dry enough where I can get going on this, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put burlap on the bottom part of this seat. I got a kit from Classic Parts, and there's little clips that go on right here to put this burlap on. These clips go in here and hold that burlap. I got a kit, and it said it was a cushion kit, and I think it was everything but. So I ended up taking the cushions off of another rig I got. Alright, now that I had a moment to reset here, I'm kind of getting this figured out. So I got this, I knew that that was the way that was supposed to be. But then when you got here to the side, so it looks like I'm going to have to trim for this and the hole for the bracket for the other seat. And it looks like it just kind of wraps around here. And then same thing here. I'm going to have to cut that off though, because I don't think I can tuck that. I might try to tuck that much, but the clip will go right in there. But before I do this side, I'm going to have to get this and get it where it belongs. So let me get that done. Well, I got that part figured out. I think the rest of it will go pretty smooth. Once I put the hog rings on there, it kind of went right where it needed to be. I am definitely not an upholstery guy at all, but we're doing a poor man's upholstery job on this. I'll show you more of that a little bit later when we get to the cover, but at least keep going here. All right, let's try this out. I got a little special seat cover here, so let me show you what's going on. Well, there it is. So this seat cover, I've had it for a while. I went to my local truck accessory place in town and told him I needed an old-fashioned saddle type seat cover for a bench seat. Okay, so a younger guy was there and he goes, okay, well, what year? I said, well, it's for a 1963 GMC. So he's in there. We don't have anything for that. I said, okay, can you order something for that? Nope, I can't get anything for that. Okay, so I told him, I said, look, I just need a saddle seat cover for a bench seat. How about let's try a square body Chevrolet? He's like, okay. Nope, can't get it. And then I tell him, I said, okay, how about a 1985 Chevrolet pickup, bench seat? So finally, another guy comes in there, and I tell him, I said, look, I said, you know what? I need a saddle seat cover for a bench seat. And I told him, I said, I just need it for a bench seat. And he says, okay. He says, what are you putting it in? I says, well, I'm putting it in a 1963 GMC, but I know that you don't have anything that says it's going to be for that. And he says, all right, well, hang on. And I told him, I said, let's try to do something. I just need a bench seat, saddle, black seat cover. So me and this other guy, we kind of horse around, we visit, and I tell him, I said, just, see what you can find. I don't care if it's for a Ford, Chevy, Dodge, whatever. I just need a black saddle seat cover for a bench seat. And finally, he kind of horses around. He says, well, how about for a 1987 Ford? He says it actually has covers that you would have to cut holes for headrest. I says, well, you know what? I don't need them, but if I have to cut the holes, then that's fine. It's fine. If it comes with headrest, that's fine. So that's what I got. So I've got a saddle black seat cover for a 1987 Ford bench seat. And look, that's going to fit pretty good right in old Jimmy. Now I had the guy in town that did that made the rest of my interior panels. I took him this material when he did my panels and the sun visors you guys are going to see here in a little bit. I said, can you take a strip of that and just put it, this was black, there's black vinyl right here. And I said, can you take a strip of that and sew that right into there? And he did. Sure enough, I think it looks pretty good. What do you guys think? So I'm going to work on getting this thing tied up and straightened up. And this project's about done. About time. Well, there it is. One redneck, poor man's upholstery job. I think it's going to look pretty good. I am extremely happy with it. I think it'll work out just fine for old Jimmy Hoffa. And I really like that plaid right down the middle there. That's going to match with everything else. I am stoked about this. I think this is going to be all right. I'm going to work on getting the matting and the mat inside and put this seat in, put the door panels on, and I'll show you guys the end result. All right, everybody. We're about to wrap up this interior job. If you look, Jimmy's got new floor padding, new rubber floor mat, and an accelerator pedal, and a new brake and clutch pedal, even shift boot. So let's get the seat in here. Here we go. Well, let's see if I can do this all by my lonesome. I think I can get it in there. It's a good thing I got this bench here. I think it'd be a little more difficult, but let's give it a try. Well, by golly, he's in there. All right, everybody, so we're complete with the poor man's interior job. Let's take a look. So there we are with the door panels. All the new matte padding on the floor. Seat cover. Seat's ready to go. Door panel over there. Sun visors. And I'm going to tell you the seat set's pretty good. Come on, baby. There we are. One poor man's upholstery job on one Jimmy Hoffa. All right, let's go for a quick run with Jimmy. Well, folks, I don't have everything I wanted done, but I do have one major job I got to get done on this, and I'll give you a little hint on the sign-off on this video for old Jimmy before we go to the C10 Nationals. But I did get some of it done. I still got some stuff I need to take care of, like the window crank and that door over there, and you know, the major job I'm going to tell you about here in a little bit. But this is really going to help make Jimmy more comfortable to be driving. That seat's terrible. We're not going to drive neither one of my rigs to Dallas. We're going to trailer them, but we'll be driving them around down there when we're down there. Old Jimmy Hoffa went from Wenatchee, Washington to Helena, Missouri, and then now he's going to be driving around Dallas, Texas. So stay tuned. And you know, later on this summer, he'll be going elsewhere also. Oh, I've got some other things I want to do to old Jimmy. I've got a clutch that I want to put in it. I've actually also got a 5-speed that I want to put in it. I'm going to try to get that done before our next go-around trip. But that's what we got going on, and old Jimmy Hoffa will be good to go. But like I said, we do have some other work that needs to be done to him. I have one huge major job I'm going to tell you about just as soon as we get back to the house and I sign off on this video. Folks, I want to tell you something. I really appreciate this. I really appreciate everybody taking their time watching my videos. I appreciate Cousin Waylon for getting me started with this. It's been a good time. But old Jimmy Hoffa, he's getting in better shape. We're coming along. You know, I mentioned earlier in the video, if anybody knew anything about this plaid, why this plaid in this rig? If anybody wants to comment, please let me know. Why did we choose this pattern? There's a reason. There's a reason why we have this pattern, and it's the reason why we're using this pattern. But if you do, please put in the comments, let me know. When it comes to getting out of this stop sign right here, you're on that's a blind hill over that way. It's really smart. I always come out of here and I hang in this lane for a little bit. Gotta make sure nobody's coming over that hill, because sometimes they come into the little town here going way too fast. One of the neighbors doing work there at school. But yeah, I hang in that lane so that way I don't have no issues coming out of there. I don't want nobody to hit me. And most everybody else does the same thing coming out of that. Well, we're about back to the house, and once again, like I said, I want to thank you all for tuning in and paying attention to my little channel and what I do to my rigs, what we're doing to old Jimmy Hoffa. There's the house. Okay folks, I'm going to close out this video. I want to show you right here, I got some different wheels and tires to put on Jimmy here, and as you notice, I don't have all the lug nuts on there. Well, there's a reason for that, because I didn't really get it finished up, because I found something that's going to have to be fixed. Come around here in the back. So right here is one of the drums off old Jimmy. There's 1, 2, and the third piece is still on the truck holding the brakes together. So I'm going to tell you what we're going to do is I've got a 14 bolt, and we're going to change the rear end of Jimmy before we go to Dallas. That's going to be the next video. I'll have a little bit on James Elmo. We're going to get the engine put in it and be going to the C10 Nationals. So everyone, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and take care.